We're on.
Are we on already?
Welcome in. You're listening to another episode of the What's Next podcast. Luke Hemmings and Philip Smith from Next Advisory, market-leading business advice and accounting. If you would like a new accountant for the new financial year, get in touch. LP at nextadvisory.nz, Luke at nextadvisory.nz, Phil at nextadvisory.nz. Just message us however you'd like. Today, Phil, we're going to be talking about whether the world is going to end, in brackets, in your mind, question mark.
Mate, well done for the shout out and plug to Next Advisory, #unsponsored.
We're all about growth this year. We need 12 new ideal clients in 12 months, and we want you to be one of them. So jump on the blower, and we'll see if you're a good fit.
People will probably hear that and think, 12, why only 12?
Mm.
You guys are quite, big and this and that, rah. We're very clear about who an ideal client is, what they look like, and the type of work that we'll do with them. And we understand that takes a significant investment, yes, from the business owner, and it's not to everybody's cup of tea. But look, if we can break 12 and get 15 or 20, hey, look, let's fill that bucket up.
It'll happen. But mate, it is a very interesting time around the world at the moment.
It is.
There's never been more money in the system. Inflation's through the bloody ceiling. There's cash jobs going that aren't getting recorded, therefore not actually showing the true price of inflation. Petrol's about $46 a litre.
There's a new campground down in Parliament.
They've installed some housing down there, and the
Russians decided to have an argument with the Ukrainians.
Yeah, it's just all going to shit, is it not?
That would feel that way, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Why are we even here, mate? I'm just going to sit at home and wait for the world to end.
Well, we could collect some COVID cash.
Yeah.
If we did that.
Yeah, true.
Let's go.
There is some new support. That won't go far in Mano for me, mate.
Maybe you just need to adjust your lifestyle, mate.
Probably. But I adjust my actions to create the lifestyle I want.
Oi! Listen to this.
Yeah, get that again.
Well, and soon the Manos is going to be like, no. What's better than a Mano, mate? Which way?
We're going to one tonight with a lawyer. He's taking us to Azabu. Something.
Good memory, mate.
Yeah.
Yes, some Japanese place apparently.
Well, the reason I remember is because I forgot to tell Chaz. I said, "Oh look, I haven't seen it all last week because I was away. Yeah. And then I've been away all around the country this week. And by the way, I'm going out for dinner on Friday night." She's like, "Oh really?" Yeah. That means like, what the fuck? Not oh really.
That makes me feel a little bit more comfortable because I got a similar reaction. Yeah, away last week, a busy week this week, and then I actually said to Grace, "Hey, I'm going out for dinner on Friday night."
Yeah.
Who with?
Ooh, Taylor.
What time are you going? When are you going to be back? Like, it's an early dinner and it's with a lawyer.
Yeah.
I will be home early.
Early, 3 a.m.
No. No, we don't behave like that. Once a year.
So then she said, "Well, where are you going?" And I said, "Oh, I think we're going to like Azabu or something." And she's like, "Oh, really?" Which means I'm jealous. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, right. Envious, maybe. Right. I said, "Hey, let's go there then. Let's go there together." I didn't realise you liked it so much.
Has she been before?
Well, judging by the reaction.
No.
Well, no, judging by the reaction, she has. That's why.
Oh, so she's got FOMO.
Yeah. So I'm like, "Well, let's go." We can go. So anyway, just
that'll be Saturday night, mate. You're there Friday night, and then you're there Saturday night.
Sorry, Mano, but hey, these are the joys that I'm sure all of you out there go through. Working through and on relationships, and we wouldn't have it any other way, would we?
No, it's a constant work in progress and a constant learning exercise.
Yeah.
Where you realise being a bloke that you're always fucking up to some degree, and there's moments of perfection.
Yes. Yeah.
And I, to be honest, I must be doing something reasonably okay. Or Grace has a superior level of tolerance because we've been married now for quite some time.
Yes. And quite some time, you don't remember how many years, do you?
No.
That's what I can see you looking for the answer of how many years it was, and then you. Yeah. I hope she's not listening.
She will. She's been tuning in. She's got into the hack now.
Yeah.
Of when she's at home, pottering around, and I use the term pottering around loosely, like she's doing in multitasking.
Yes.
She's great at multitasking. She's always a busy woman. Earpods in.
Okay.
She's got the earpods, and she might be outside. Oh, what are you doing? And she's listening to a podcast.
Wow.
Or I'll be talking to her, and she won't be listening because and I can't see because her here is covering her ears, and she's got the old AirPods, and it's not that she's ignoring me, it's that she's consuming some content.
Yeah.
And there's been some blooming murder mystery thing that she's been listening to. I don't know, but she has been listening to the top 100 business podcast, top 50 nowadays.
Yes.
Here's an update, folks. We've broken the top 50 podcasts in New Zealand, probably the world, and she's consuming our podcast.
Yeah.
Probably because she, wants to hear more of my sweet, sweet voice.
Oh, I can only imagine that probably keep tabs on what we're up to.
Probably.
Yeah. Fair enough. Well, speaking of keeping tabs, mate, I've been keeping tabs on the Americans. I've actually watched their news just about daily at the moment to figure out what's going to happen. I just watched the start.
Newsboy Kimmy's.
Yeah, YouTube, double speed.
Wow.
Just get through the headlines. Because usually that's sort of,
And you're not one to normally consume the news.
No, but I knew something major's happening. Very interesting. I said to someone yesterday, a couple of friends they must do doing shares together. And they said, our shares aren't going very good. I was like, partly it's because Russia's about to invade the Ukraine. They were like, what? And I was like, you don't know. They're like, I think I saw something on the news about that actually. Like, I was like, wow, okay. But
just what were the age demographic there?
Mid-30s.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I was expecting to say 20-something.
Nah, Apple, Facebook shares, I'm complaining about those. I'm like, that's not pretty. But nothing's pretty at the moment, is it? And that's what we're thinking about is what do we do when times get turbulent?
What do we do? There's a lot out there that can influence the way you behave and then or how you perceive what's going on and therefore how you react to it and then what the outcomes for you are going to happen based on how you relate to it. And I think it's important that there's a lot going on at the moment that's just way outside of our control.
Yeah.
And it's another reminder to be mindful of what you consume.
Yeah.
Not only in the gob, but in the ears and through the eyes.
I said to you when we were in Queenstown, mate, I said one day I'm looking forward to turning to my son or daughter and saying, when they talk about the years that were COVID and say, I'm very proud that I grew through that and I continued to get out there and take risks and do things and take actions and just try to continue to be better one day at a time rather than just sitting hoping that everything's going to go back to normal and that, this is all going to blow over because I don't think it is.
Nah, not anytime soon.
No.
When I was getting the update on the Ukrainian situation last night, I had the old Sky News on the telly. Then when Grace came home, that got switched over to Married at First Sight. But it was just interesting to see how long this could potentially last for.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, is this going to be something that's short and sweet and the Russians have done their thing and we kind of settle down and go back to normal? Or is this going to be something that's going to be embedded and just go on for months? I'm picking the latter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know enough about it to be fair, but I just think in terms of turbulent times worldwide, I think we've still got a long way to go. It's just stuff in the pipeline. And we've all got to be prepared to dig in and just do what we can control.
And that's it, it's looking to what you control. I mean, so many people are looking and going, man, inflation is rampant, petrol's going up like mad, food's going up like mad. We had a meeting online today and they were saying apparently the price of cauliflower is was it cauliflower?
Yeah.
$9. I had no idea.
Taz roasts a good cauliflower.
Does she?
Yep. With the fennel seed in it, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I like cauliflower.
That's nuts.
I can grow that stuff in a garden if I wanted to. Tasty stuff. I enjoy a bit of cauliflower. $9.
Yeah,
I hope that's a full head, not a half head.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Get cabbage, mate. Very cheap. Brilliant vegetable. Red cabbage. Lasts for ages too. Just chop the very edge off of it.
You were really good at that back when we were in Punishing Parnell.
Punishing Parnell.
You'd have your red cabbage.
Yeah.
You'd chop that up and it would probably last you a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then if there are any dicey bits on there, they'd just get the chop in the bin.
Yeah.
And then the chicken.
Yeah.
That probably lasts you 2 weeks as well.
Medium rare.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The green bits, you just scrape those off.
Yeah.
And carry on.
There you go. There's a saying, mate, I think it's your thoughts become your beliefs, and then your beliefs then create how you take action.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the data is that humans have about 75,000 thoughts a day.
Wow.
And do you know how many of those thoughts you had the day before?
Of those 75,000,
Yeah,
a very small percentage.
90%.
Lots of them.
Yep. So
Really?
basically,
So you're just thinking the same shit over and over.
yeah. So there's a really good exercise
Wow.
to actually stop and audit your thinking and be like, what am I thinking about?
Get that green pen out, folks.
And I've gotten a lot better at this because, especially through like the BGP stuff, for instance, where I just start worst case scenario planning, like all the shit that could happen. And then I'll catch myself and be like, mate, the fuck are you doing?
That
Why are you
audit
thinking about
background's really paying dividends,
that?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Shout out to Audit New Zealand.
Yeah, how the spot wouldn't. Oh no, I should say it. Great place, great culture, great. Always progressive in that space. Yeah. So be very careful what you're thinking about because there's a high chance you thought about the same shit yesterday, and you're just going to carry on thinking about the same stuff if you don't pick yourself up on it and go, what am I up to here? One of the other things I used to worry about, be like, oh, I open my inbox, what if a client's left? Now I'm like, I don't want it to happen, but I'm like, well, it's going to happen at some stage. So what? Instead, I have the belief that whatever happens, I can figure out what I'm going to need to do to get through it. And I think that's a better thing to remind yourself is I'm a powerful person that can get through any challenge. That's a lot better than, oh, holy shit, I hope that this doesn't happen or I hope that doesn't happen. Like, who cares? Like, shit's going to happen.
People might hear you say that you're a powerful person and take that out of context in that it might be perceived as arrogance.
Really?
Whereas I hear that and you see that every person is powerful.
Yeah.
If you put that power to good use.
Yeah.
You've just got to have control over what's going on in the lid.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, I just think like humans are so resilient and so adaptable and phenomenal. But then we get caught up by just these menial things and think that they're going to be the things that determine our lives. It's like bin them, get them out of the way, accept that they're going to happen, look out, like sort them out as they happen, and just charge.
I'm just having flashbacks to our Bitch Up podcast that we did recently, and it reminds me of like if you're complaining about stuff happening, then go, well, in order to stop you complaining, change what you're doing in your life. Yeah. So going back to that vegetable exercise, if you're whinging about the price of stuff, well, then maybe look at either growing your own food or changing your diet somehow to reduce your costs. Yeah. If it's on the petrol side of things, catch the bus. Yeah.
Even Jade was saying that, she's probably going to start working from home a couple more days and things like that. She's looking for solutions. And we all are going to continue to get more and more problems come at us.
And you've done that with the Next Advisory business scooter.
Yes.
It makes an appearance in the office every now and again. Today, the weather's a little bit dicey.
I came straight from the airport, mate.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't go too well going from the airport into the CBD.
Yeah. And one of the hacks I put on the Keep the Change Instagram the other day is I try and park next to like flash cars when I go to places like the airport, or keep an eye out for them because
you must battle when you're in your Merc because there's not a lot that's flashing in that Merc.
Well, I get to park at the special hairdressers area of the car park.
Mm-hmm.
But I was sort of taught when I was growing up that flash cars are a waste of money. And I'd imagine a lot of people were like, oh, I was taught that too. Mm-hmm. Well, then I had to unlearn that to figure out, well, how people make sense of it. Yeah. How does the bloke that I took on Wednesday justify a chopper? For fuck's sake, he has to have a pilot to fly it.
Does he not fly it himself?
Shit, no. Waste the time, mate. I'm like, oh. What you want from your life. So it's like, it doesn't matter. But it's a good reminder that if other people are doing these things, well, then really you're just making excuses. Like you're choosing not to. Like, oh, I could never have a Lamborghini. Well, why not?
That comes back to what we were talking about. I'm pretty sure we're in Queenstown. It's hard to remember because just been jet setting to so many different places.
You sound like property developers, mate.
was you brought up the word envy.
Yes.
And I'm just trying to recollect the context of the discussion, because that's kind of what you're going along the path of when people are kind of comparing stuff and being envious.
Charlie Munger, the guy from Berkshire Hathaway, who's basically smarter than Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
So they work together, two old dogs. And they were asking him about inequality, and he said, "We'll always have inequality." And it's something I've been thinking about recently. Is like, inequality is only going to get worse because as technology comes, like, you know, we donated 3. Everyone's going to have access to that stuff. But anyway, what he said, if I could teach you one thing, it's to remove envy from your life, because we're all going to be less fortunate than somebody else.
You're right, mate. It's happening right here. I look at you in that pineapple lid, mate. I mean,
I'm doing a trim, I reckon.
I've got not a lot going on in the upstairs apartment on mine, and you've got the envy is running hot.
Well, old mate that cut my hair a few weeks back, he actually said to me, he's like, "You're on a slippery path, mate." I'm like,
"Really?"
Yeah, he was like, "You don't look after your hair." It's like, "What do you wash it with?" I'm like, "Not sure." Like, he's got something in the bath that I grab every now and then. He's like, "Yeah." And he's just like, "That's not good enough." He's like, "You probably got 5 years before you're going to need
really
to start doing." Like,
having flashbacks here though of when we went to Karaka Million, and there was a client there, and there was a moment where I touched his hair.
Oh, yes.
And it is the softest hair I've ever touched in my entire life. It was luxurious.
Mikey Silky Smith.
Yeah.
Didn't
want to name him, but hey, look, I want to go there. But he then said to me, "Mikey, I'm about to uncover your secret here, that he hasn't washed his hair for a certain period of time."
Really?
I was like, "Wow, are you dead set serious?" He's like, "Yep." And I was like, "Man," and I was telling everyone that was in earshot of me, "Get your hands through this man's lid, because it is sensational to the touch."
My word. There we go. Well, Mikey, if you want to come around for a few pats, mate, then sounds like Phil's up for it. Yeah. So mindset, mate. As always, we talk about how important this is, but at the moment, it's something we're all need to be thinking about, because everywhere we look, you have got reason to go, "Fuck, why do I bother? Why do I bother contributing to my KiwiSaver? Why do I bother investing? Why do I bother bloody going out there trying to work hard when other people are just getting given handouts?"
I think the thing is in these times of turmoil, remember they are only temporary, so don't shit the bed.
Yes.
And it does, historically speaking, all go in cycles. And we're in this little bit of a turbulent time on the old Coca-Cola roller coaster at Rainbow's End. It might be one of those spiral loopy things.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we are on the spiral loop, but I do know that one day we will come out of this and it'll go back up again.
Yep.
You know, the minute it's, interest rates are going through the roof. It's doom and gloom if you own a house, because there's all this fixed rate debt that's going to come off later this year that all of a sudden people are going to shit the bed on because they don't know how they're going to afford their mortgage. If that was me and I was in that position, I'd be starting to make plans for that now. Yeah. I'm fortunate that I've got a strategy that if there is a mortgage rate increase that we're going to be exposed to, which we don't, thankfully, we're going to be fine. Yeah. But if you're one of those people that are coming off or potentially coming off a low rate onto a fixed rate as mortgage rates are going up, you need to be thinking about that stuff now. Crunching the numbers and understanding how it's going to affect your ultimate net disposable income. Yep. Because the cash that the take-home pay, your disposable income is going to reduce when your mortgage payments go up. Yeah. I see they reckon the OCR will get to 3.25%. Hard to trust any of those forecasts. Economists, what's their success rate, mate? 0%.
Yeah.
None of these bastards have ever got it right.
No.
Interestingly, listening to the radio, and I think it's Steve Jurkovic, the CEO of KiwiBank, are forecasting a lower peak to the OCR compared to the other economists. Really? So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to get the peak right. My money would be on Follow Heartland Bank. Yes, they seem to be on the money with these guys. Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, might have to go buy some more of their stocks whilst they're getting clobbered around in this environment. Yeah.
But I think be mindful that it's temporary, and a lot of the stuff that you're consuming is way out of our control. Like the Russia-Ukraine thing, that stuff's dire over there, and it's horrible if you're in Ukraine and you have to go and seek shelter in their subway system, and you've got some Russians running down the street with guns and these tanks and all that kind of shit. But that doesn't really have a direct impact on our life. Yes, there are indirect impacts.
Yeah.
In terms of it's going to mess around with your KiwiSaver or your Sharesies. It's definitely going to have an impact on the price of your petrol because your oil's just gone over $100 a barrel. That was the first thing I did when the news broke and I got the thing on my phone. The Russians are going in there, jumped on the old interweb. What's happened to the price of oil? Up through the short some other futures.
Actually, just on that, we've got a client who uses a significant amount of fuel every month.
Yes.
For me, like if I was them, yes, I'd be thinking, how can I hedge against this? How can I offset this? So, i.e., investing in, like you say, oil futures. So, using your business balance sheet to subsidize it.
Well, I tell you, I heard this morning that Fonterra is now testing their first electronic milk delivery truck.
Really?
Yeah, an electric truck.
Wow.
Yeah, and the person that they interviewed from Fonterra, it was a big dog, don't remember their name, got asked what's the range of these trucks. And they got told on the dead flat, easy roads down in the backwaps of wherever they're based, have a guess.
800 Ks.
140 Ks.
Is that all?
Yeah. and yet it's all of a sudden, well, these trucks, the drivers are used to going like 8 hours and then have their 1 hour meal break. They've got to be doing their logs and stuff. 140 Ks ain't going to cut the mustard before that battery runs dry.
Wow.
And this is on flat roads, not even taking into account these things are going up slopey hills and all over the backlots. So what they're working on is bolting on a spare battery that's charged and you just swap them around.
Nice.
Yeah, so there's stuff being played with there. So interesting to see Fonterra making developments.
Yeah.
Because they did say that over the lifetime of owning a vehicle in their fleet, fuel represents more than, and I can't remember how many times it was, whether it was 10 times or whatever it was, the total cost of the vehicle originally.
Wow.
And the per kilometre cost of an electric truck, 30 cents.
30 cents.
Compared to diesel at whatever it is these days, $2.
$2, yeah.
Yeah. Fascinating. Yeah.
Buck worth of tax in it, no doubt.
So there's some great stuff there. And look, you know, I hate to say it. Well, I do love saying it, but some people just don't like hearing it. The farmers are coming to the rescue. Go New Zealand agriculture.
I was in that part of the world yesterday, mate. Got picked up in a Hilux. Just
Yes.
put over the dress for Wanganui.
Were you?
Yeah. Have a suit jacket on. A few people looking at me in the street like, who the fuck is that? Yeah.
And those farm gate milk prices, $9 something now.
They're all very happy.
And they reckon that that's going to pump 14 billion
Wow.
back into the New Zealand economy by the time the farmers are spending that money.
Yeah.
How good is that?
Gee, that's good going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go the farmers.
I did hear a story that they tried to collaborate a couple of the fertilizer companies and increase their prices at the same time, and usually they do. And one of the other CEOs, well, so there's two CEOs, and the CEO who's newish apparently. I hope I got the story right. Which is like, no, sorry, mate. Like, I don't care if that's what's happened in the past, but no, we won't be doing that. So, first CEO was like, oh well, fuck yeah, we're raising our prices, and I think 3 weeks later they wrote to all their clients and said, hey, because they thought, oh, they'll move it too. And they said, oh, hey, we're going to take it back to the original price and credit everyone that's paid in the meantime. Walked it back. Yeah.
Fascinating.
I put up a story after our week of business planning too, mate, where it was a thought that I read on our flight back and it really stuck with me. Two things. One is that entrepreneurship, which let's just call it business so it's not using that wanky E word, is a life sentence. So you might as well have some fun doing it. And I think it's very good to remember that, you know, business isn't easy, nor is life. And these things are hard. You should expect them to be. Embrace it and just make sure you're having fun while you're doing it. And if you're not, well, then you've got to question why you're doing it. Steve Jobs, for instance, he would always say, I would ask myself every morning, if this was the last day of my life, would I want to be doing this? He's like, if I had enough days where I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this, he's like, I'm on the wrong path. So maybe remind yourself, isn't it? Yeah. And the second thing is you'll die in the middle of a project, basically. So what they were saying is that, that your work will never be complete. There will always be something that when you're business minded like us and other people out there, eventually there's always a project that you'll be working on. So just again, have some fun whilst you're doing it and embrace the grind.
I'm sitting here thinking, you know, I'll probably get to my 80s, maybe my 90s, because I look after myself. I'm thinking, man, what projects am I going to be working on when I get to that old?
I reckon some gardens or something, mate.
Yeah, I'll probably be on my ride on.
Really?
Yeah, I want to ride on, eh?
Yeah. I've got a fantastic story for you. I have to share with you very quickly.
Is it suitable for
It's
podcasts?
almost not. It's almost not. But
Let's hear it.
ladies and gentlemen, turn it up and listen to this. So, at this lunch on Wednesday, the host gets his phone call, and he took it. He didn't take any other phone calls. I thought, interesting. He took this one phone call. We're there for probably 5 hours.
Wow.
And
Would have got lots of phone calls in 5 hours, I bet. But took one.
And I was like, something's up here. Like, and so anyway, he's like, he said to me, oh, that's a mate of mine. He's like, I try and go cycling with him twice a week. And this guy's older. He said, oh, really? He said, yeah, because he's got dementia. And so he's going downhill. And I try and catch up with him twice a week to make his life a bit better. I'm like,
What did you see?
Yeah, and he said, in his state of dementia, he started to continue to tell the story of his first interaction with a female. And so he's...
First kiss.
Yeah, something like that.
Yep.
So what he's done is he's like, you know what? I'm going to dig her out. I'm going to find her. And so he teed up a lunch for them.
No way!
I'm like, mate, that is one of the best things I've heard. Like, what a good mate. Yeah. So he teed up... And then, older. And they went to lunch. Apparently, had a whale of a time and telling tales, and it just he said he's just lit him up for weeks, just so happy.
Yeah, be able to spin that yarn of his experience of reconnecting with the ladies.
His first kiss or whatever it may be.
His first interaction, kiss.
Yeah. How cool is that?
Yeah.
I just thought, it's just another reminder that sometimes the things, just like when we went to the Mount, we got on the ocean and we're just like, wow, it's amazing how this can give you so much, yet the ocean is free for us all to enjoy as such.
Yeah, it is. Enjoy could be a bit on the fence there. Sharks.
Oh, man.
I wound you up a little bit about that.
Oh, jeez, I thought I saw something on stage.
That's why you got the shivers, on that night swim.
Oh, I didn't even think about them in the dark.
Bullshit,
No,
didn't you?
Senses, yeah.
I thought it was a shark because it was pretty black, and it's quite unusual when a wave comes up and kind of crashes into you. Can't quite see it.
Yeah.
And then kind of position yourself or like get ready to go right under it or over whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Can't quite see it. Then you're getting
the
chills, and I'm thinking,
oh, Shark Boy is freezing out.
Yeah, we're getting it because it's shark senses that come on. Oh, so it wasn't.
It's just I think it was like sensory overload. I'm like, how is this? We went from the sauna to the water, and it was dark, and it was just too weird for me. Yeah, it could have been that too. Yeah, it's probably. There we go, mate. Mindset, so important.
Yeah, we go. I was about to say we go on about it, which kind of makes it sound like it's a drag, but I think we talk about it a lot because we understand the importance of it.
So important.
And I think we will continue to talk about mindset for as long as we're doing these podcasts.
Yeah.
Because if there's little gems that we can add in, particularly using examples from either our lives as business owners or stuff that we come across with clients, particularly like that Monday meeting, right, with the self-limiting beliefs and whatnot. It ultimately that just comes back to your mindset and how you view the world. And you've got a choice every day when you wake up and your feet hit the ground of how you're going to tackle the world.
Yeah. Client Monday, you were asking what's the gap between them and the person that they were working underneath effectively, because they're learning from them.
Yeah, it's a succession plan, hey.
And they said, confidence.
Yep.
And I said, what's confidence? Because no one asked questions like that. And again, we met with someone, I think we talked about it on the pod. I want to work with someone where I can create an impact. Okay. What does making an impact mean? So if you want to use words like that, just because everyone's saying it doesn't mean it's true. Like, think about what that actually means. So where does confidence come from? Well, it comes from doing shit and continuing to do it and then knowing that you can do it.
And that's part of and kind of jumping around a little bit here, but when somebody uses or a business owner comes up with these power phrases, let's call it a power phrase of like an impact or I need confidence or, I want to make a difference. And they go, that's it, I've got my why. But I think that's quite surface level and they haven't been brave enough to then ask the next question, which is what you've just asked of what is confidence?
Yeah.
What is impact? Like, what does that actually mean? What does it look like? and then get really granular and just keep asking questions and keep challenging yourself. So there's real clarity there. So then when you get asked about it, you know, boom, this is what it means. Or in fact, when you're actually doing something, is what I'm doing currently aligned with creating impact?
You know that I'm a sicko, mate, and you would see me in the mountain writing my goals down each night. And there's two words that I write down, and there's 3 lines of things that I write down basically. But 2 of those words are I want to create an impact and I want to inspire people.
Mm-hmm.
And we got some feedback after our session on Monday. Luke felt so inspiring. It's amazing when the things you write down that you want to do, when you actually, basically, that's like now realizing, well, what we're doing, I'm achieving my goals. But I don't want that to just be once. I want to keep doing it.
And something else, and we've spoken about it a gazillion times on the pod. Old Captain Grateful here.
Yeah.
You still practice it religiously. I noticed every night at 9:30, pretty much.
Yeah.
You sat down, you stopped what you were doing.
Yeah.
So you could have been in the middle of God knows what, and you would have stopped, paused, and gone and sat down at your spot at Cutter's Cove by the bench, got the iPad out and jotted down whatever you were jotting down.
Yeah.
Let us in, mate. What did you write down on Wednesday night when you got home?
Oh, nah, I see. I missed Wednesday.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
You've broken me.
But what I'll do, so what I'm also going to do now is journal those types of experiences I have.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy, a week later, you know, or a day later, you're into, like, I'm off to Wanganui. I got home, like, shit, I need to pack a bag, so I need to be at the airport in the morning. And I don't have the time to actually sit there. So we actually, when we got back, because there was a group of us that we went for a beer, and we're just like, hey lads, like, let's just take a moment to realise that we probably did something that a lot of people never get an opportunity to do, and that's fucking special.
Fly your champs.
Oh no, this is the day before. And these are grown men and international sports players for both cricket and the All Blacks.
Yeah.
And yeah, like stopping them to say, like, fuck lads, that was special. And everyone was like, yeah, that was, you know, how good was that? And I think
just for the listeners out there, how many horses did you buy?
Oh mate, no, I couldn't afford any of these ones. It draws me. Yeah. So yeah, I like the look of that on the but no, I think it's very important to practice gratefulness and things like that. One of the things as well that I learned from Walshy leading into the Karaka Million, because we bet everyone's money on that night. It's a big syndicate, and people are just putting in what they can afford to lose, hopefully. But I obviously want to get a collect, and I want to do it well. And you know, no one likes losing.
27% return. That's pretty bloody good.
Yeah. And in the first race, something fucking always goes wrong. And one year, the jockey dropped their whip. Another year, we got it, but we multied it with a horse in race 2. The horse was winning by like 3 lengths with 100 metres to go. And then saw the sign and just stopped running. And so we were home for about 60 grand, and then bang, just stops. And I'm like, I said to Walshy, I'm already thinking about what's going to happen, like what's going to fuck us up this year. And he was basically like, what do you do when that happens? And he said, do you walk back into that room, you got 850 people there, and do you go hide in the corner, or do you own it? Like, what's your action? I had to think, and I was like, I think I kind of go and like sit down and get a bit dark for a bit, and I'm like, fuck, right, I turn the page, like, where to from here?
So you get a bit salty.
Yeah. And he's like, well,
stop being a bitch.
Great thinkers turn to logic. They do not turn to emotion. And you have to, whatever happens on that night, go towards logic. And so it was a theme that I then said, there's 3 of us. We had a Zoom call the day before the Karaka Million, and I said, lads, we need to remember that what we want to happen may not happen. So let's stick to what should happen on data, etc. If you can get horse racing right, which you can't always.
No.
And so we got to a stage where there was a race, and there was a clear standout in the race, and we were chopping and changing, going, oh, why don't we see if the tab will do this for us, and we'll get this horse if it runs in the top 5 and that one wins. And I'm like, lads, hold on. It's like, think about this. This is exactly what we spoke about. Like, we want these things to happen. It doesn't mean they will, because it's just emotion. Like, let's just go to logic. Which horse is going to win this race? We're all like, number 1. Like, no more talking. Let's go drop 150 grand on it, whatever it was. And it just fell into one. And the things that we wanted to happen didn't happen. So, very good lesson. Logic over emotion.
Nice, mate. Logic. No, that's a good yarn.
Yeah. Powerful, eh?
It is. Yeah, really powerful. But I guess some people's brains are wired more to emotion.
Yeah.
And it's being having real strong self-awareness to punch yourself really when you get stuck in an emotional moment and stop and say to yourself, stop being so emotional, go back to logic.
Yeah.
That can be hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I listen to that and I know for me, my brain's reasonably logical anyway.
Yeah.
Because I like empathy. Jade's number 1 on her strength finders.
Yeah.
Is probably, number 32.
36.
It's
34.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many's on that list? 34, mine was like 42.
Yeah.
So, I probably wouldn't battle so much with that, but there'll be people that are probably more emotionally tuned into bits and pieces, so just be mindful of when the emotions can be carried away.
Yeah. Yeah, you often, if you hear those All Blacks tell stories about how they got out of tricky situations and things, they're just like, hey, this is what we need to do. Like, what's important now? What's the next steps we need to take?
Win.
Yeah, here it is.
Got that from.
Gee, we got a lot out of that session, didn't we? But one of the other things that I practiced, mate, and I did this on our flight back from the mount, is I just write my problem down at the top of the page. And it might not be a problem. It's something you're trying to achieve. And so it's I would just write the question down, how are we going to get 12 ideal clients in the next 12 months? And then I just start writing down all the different ways.
You've got the hack of getting into a flow state, haven't you?
Especially on the plane.
Because you had your AirPods in.
Yeah.
And you were playing one of your playlists from YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was going to video it, but my word, you can jump around in that seat. You're bloody bobbing away for all the folks that are listening, like Luke's, or sorry, watching on the live feed here. He's honestly like this.
I've got a bit on it.
You do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the hell can you write on your iPad and you're having a rave in your head, sitting in the seat?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fascinating to watch you work through. You had your blank page on your screen on your iPad, and then all of a sudden, and I'm reading on my device. I've got my book open. I thought, well, I'm not going to sit here and just stare out the window. I'm reading, and yeah, every now and again I just peer over and go, what's this bloody sicko up to?
Yeah.
And this all of a sudden, the page is full and you're bopping away, and yeah. I did want to try and get across the island and around us to see if I could spy on some other people and see what's their reaction to what you're currently doing, because it's really quite obvious. Like the little mini rave you're having in that seat in your head.
Seat 1A just absolutely going off.
Yeah. On the way down there. Bump to row 11.
It was tough. Yeah, it was tough.
Oh no, that was on the way back from from where were we?
Auckland.
Yeah.
Because they said, is it because we've been eating too many treats?
Yeah, I'll really Pythagoras here. If you tune into our Instagram content, Luke stitched me up real well when I went to the Air New Zealand buffet and got stuck into the treats, the sweet treats, old Treatosaurus. I've got some nice sweet things there, and then I went back and topped up the pies and come back with a pie, and the next minute it's old Pythagoras, and we're getting bumped from row 1 down to row 11.
Tough times, mate. We got there in the end, didn't we?
We did.
Hey, so if you're sitting around thinking about whether the world's going to end, because you're going to have people that are going to tell you this, that perhaps we might see the biggest global financial meltdown that we've ever seen in this next little while. We just don't know. We do not know what's ahead. My guess is that we will see something like that, and then we'll just see a shitload more money printing, and eventually we'll end up back at 0% interest rates, because that was absolutely tank the economy. But who knows?
Funny you use that language. Well, not funny. I had a client, I think I mentioned it to you, pretty much say that exact same thing to me on the phone earlier this week. I was talking to them, and they're like, we need to get this finished, and we get this done, I've got to get this to the bank because the world's about to shit the bed, it's going to just turn to custard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, thinking to myself, like, why do you think like this? And what might your life be like day to day if you apply this to everything? And what happens if you kind of flipped it and had a different lens on the world? I would say though that for those who do have investments and get investment advice in the first instance, but if you've got KiwiSaver or something like that and you're wanting to use that cash, you're going to want to go and get some advice, because in the short term you could potentially be getting burnt. Yeah. Those who are in it for the long haul, maybe still get some investment advice, but just patience.
Yeah. It is messy. We've been through a messy couple of years. I mean, we're probably only going to get messier. The world's just in a very weird place, but we've all got to think about what do we want our lives to look like? What actions do we need to take to ensure that we can keep getting closer to that? Block out some of the shit, block out some of the noise. Pick one person that just brings you yuck yuck content, whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, unfollow, gone. You've just done yourself a massive favor. Replace it with someone.
You raised that on a meeting that we had with somebody, although it got brought up very briefly, we actually didn't ask the follow question of whether this client unfollowed this person.
Yeah.
We must actually go back and ask. But when you first posted in one of the meetings, you did say, hey, look, you should unfollow this. And this is a very, would it be fair to say, prominent personality?
Yes.
Who is currently being followed, and we've suggested that our client unfollow this person. And I think because there's a lack of, or no, I shouldn't say lack of, there's a non-alignment potentially of values.
Yeah.
Not a clash, it's just the perspectives on the world are different. But I think it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Because you're just so used to being caught up in other people's drama potentially, that now all of a sudden you've got to go, oh, I'm taking that out of my life. Trust me, take it out and you won't look back.
Yeah. You can snooze people for 30 days on Facebook. You can tell all algorithms like, I do not want to see this, and it will stop feeding you stuff. Just think about what you're consuming that is, maybe not so good for you. This year, what can you take out of your diet? That's something I always think about in practice and play with things like that. I've tried to go back to absolute max, like 2 coffees a day now, something like that, because I just went from a lad who never had a coffee to up to 3,
4. How does the body cope with the blooming, what are they, decaf, bloody caramel?
I tried to get coconut milk yesterday, mate.
The coconut flat white with is it the hazelnut shot?
Yeah.
Or the caramel shot.
Beauty at Taste Street. Yeah, it's so good. Caramel down there. I usually get the hazelnut. Apparently vanilla's made from something not very good.
We've got, hey, if anyone's listening, the crew from Shott, SHOTT, who do the additives, the flavour additives to the coffees, are actually on our level.
Yeah, wow.
If anyone knows of anyone that's listening to this that knows these folks,
tell them to drop some hazelnut off for me.
Yeah, I mean, we just clearly haven't bloody manned up and grown some balls, essentially, to go and knock on their door and say, "G'day."
Yeah, we probably shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Maybe there's something for us to think about there. What's the limiting belief? It's probably the fear of rejection.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's always what it is.
Yeah. That's always what it is. Yeah.
Well, no, again, come back, and this is trash TV, but one of the dudes on Married at First Sight last night, sitting there supporting my wife, as I do, Grace, watching Married at First Sight. That's what you do when you're a married man.
Tess put it off for 30 seconds the other day. I said, bin this shit.
Oof.
I was like, get this off. I want to watch Carlos Spencer build this house for someone that's a lot better if we're going to have a TV on. Sorry.
So there's this fella, Andrew, who acknowledged that he had some self-limiting beliefs and some stuff he needs to overcome. It's all very emotional and whatnot, but yeah.
Love a guy who can get in touch with your feelings. The other thing, mate, before we get out of here, is can you back your stuff up with data? And what we mean by that is, as an example, the client this week said, what's your biggest fear of this business? And they said, well, that we end up, like, what keeps you awake at night, basically, that's the question. Well, we put a piece of work out the door and we get sued for it because it's just completely incorrect. I said, okay. Then, man, it's like, I was like, has that ever happened?
Well, these guys, accountants, who's firing the tax returns.
Massive, bloody 20-minute spiel of this thing that went wrong. And I was like, okay, so just to come back to the start, it's like, was that completely out of your control effectively by the sounds of that? Because it wasn't you guys that did that wrong. It was blah, blah, blah. And they were like, yeah, basically. And and we've also got insurance cover for that too. I'm like, okay, well, that's good. And I said, so what's another example? I'm like, oh, well, then they struggle to find examples.
None. And then you ask them, how many times has it happened?
And
none. And I think it comes back to logic over emotion.
There it is.
These guys, you just focus on emotion.
Yeah.
And then you ask, where's the data to back it up?
Yeah.
There's none, because you've just created a self-limiting belief in your head.
Yeah. 90% of worry is just shit that doesn't even end up happening. So be careful. Be careful what you're thinking about. Audit your thinking and tidy it up. Clean some of that shit up. Figure out where it's coming from. Why am I thinking about that stuff? Who gave me that? Who says I'm not confident? Who says I'm not good enough looking? Whatever it is. Who says I'm not good at business? Not good at sales? Figure it all out. Like, clean it up. Go back to the start and build some data and fix it. Simple as that, isn't it?
Easy.
And look after yourselves, team. It's a bloody, it's a minefield out there at times, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think those who are prepared to invest in themselves to be better tomorrow are going to be the ones that rise to the top as the world just turns to shit.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be people that are just going to go, oh, this is all too hard, and go, I'm going to just rely on emotion rather than bullshit.
Grant Cardone, great saying, just show up. 3 amazing words to remember. Just show up. No matter how hungover you are, no matter how tired you are, no matter how scared you are, how unconfident you are, whatever it is that you're battling with in that moment, just show up and then figure it out from there.
Hey, what a hot pod, mate.
Very good. I love this stuff. It's so important though, because it's just, it's such a big part of people's lives and business.
And again, live on the Facebook feed will be interesting. Hello, if you're watching, to see how this bit of technology plays out for us.
I might start putting some pants on, mate, because I'm starting to get a few people talking about.
Oh, you've had some sensational feedback about your legs.
So you're not wearing any pants in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll tighten this. We're only in this office. Oh, we can see Jade in the background there. Hello, Jade. We're only in the spot for a few more weeks.
We are.
And then we've got some couches here, folk.
Yes.
That's what that is, all wrapped up. And when we move into our new penthouse office suite, the couches will be unwrapped. We'll be sitting on those, producing this wonderful podcast.
Shout out to the crew at Calibrate as well, who moved in next door to us and only got half their furniture moved in, I think, and then have all found out that one of their members has COVID. Sorry to announce that on behalf of your business, but and now they can't be in there.
It's
they're all close contacts.
Lights are off, no one's at home.
Yeah, there'll be so many business owners going through that exact same thing at the moment. And I saw another restaurant business close down.
This office building has got a number of businesses in it, and I'm still really surprised how quiet this building is.
Yes.
You come into the car park, there's heaps of spaces. You come up here, there's just no one. So people are still working from home, or they've actually come down with COVID and they actually having to isolate. It's having an impact out there.
It is. I think over 10,000 cases today, mate. So after 20,000 this weekend, you'd suggest?
Yeah, I think it's 12 today-ish. Bring on 20,000 this week. And, we might actually hit the 50K that they were forecasting 3 weeks ago.
That's right.
In another couple of weeks.
Wow, I might have to pull up that old graph. Look after yourselves, of course, both physically, mentally, every way possible that you can. Just stay healthy. That's what PT said to me. Just said, mate, you said stay healthy. Just think every day, am I staying healthy?
I need to take that on board when I'm going to the Tim Tams.
Yeah. Do I need all of these? How many did you have in one go? Come on, tell the listeners.
Oh, no, one at a time.
And how many a day?
Or I reckon there was half a pack, so I reckon there would have probably been 6 left.
Oh, yeah.
3 one day, 3 the next.
That's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, I still felt bad.
Did you?
That tastes good, though.
I bet. Go to Tim Tams. If you're listening, Tim or Tam, send us some. No, we don't do any packets of those, do we? We're after this.
No, we've got another packet in the cupboard.
Okay.
Just chocolate ones.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's us. Get in touch. lnp@nextadvisory.nz. We'd love to hear from you.
Bloody beautiful.
Do we need to bin this?